Alright, so this video is all about skinning in a tier 4 blue zone tutorial, how that you can skin in this game in Albion Online and make a whole lot of silver. So what I'm going to do before I even teach you how to do it is I'm going to do a 30-minute run here this is Sandgust Cleft. Now this is like 3 zones away from Bridgewatch, and I'm just going to run around the zone and skin, and we're going to see how much silver I make, and then after I show you how much silver that we make, I'm going to show you how I did it and what the gear I'm wearing and why I'm wearing the gear I'm wearing and all that fun stuff. And yeah, so let's get on to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dismount here and I'm going to eat my food and start the timer. So as soon as I eat this food, we shall begin. And let's go. All right. Now, one thing I forget to mention in the video is there's a few extra tips and tricks you can do to really make your gathering here even more profitable. And that is every time you find a really high-level enchanted mob, which I didn't do in this run at all, no 4.2s or 4.3s at all, is that you just you hold Alt and you hit print screen to take a screenshot of your screen, and then you paste it into MS Paint, and then you mark it with the marker on the program of where you found it. And then also like really big groups of skinnable animals, like if you see like a pack of 5 or even like a pack of 8, you open your map and you mark it, and you just make a route, for the day, because every day the packs change. And so after like a few laps around the zone, you know where to go and where not to go, which this was my first run of the day and only run of the day, so it was very inefficient, but we still managed to, spoiler alert, break over 1 million silver per hour, and I'm going to explain how. Alright, and that is 30 minutes. Let me cut my music off here and get my sound back on. There we go, now I can hear the game. Alright, so 30 minutes in, this is what our inventory looks like. I'm going to tell you right now that this was a terrible, terrible run for a few reasons. We didn't get any gathering tomes, and we got 0 baby drops. So let's see how much we made. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and journey back, and then we will tally up and see how much we earned and how much we made. So, and again, I left the damn text on the screen. Let me go ahead and take that off. But, pretty terrible map. Not a lot of spawns, not a lot of dense spawns. I don't think I even saw a 0.2 spawn. So 30k in repairs about, not too bad. But we did fill a lot of tomes. And, let's go ahead and get to the island here and, put our stuff away. And, alright, so we're going to put the knife away. And then I'm going to put the books away. And these right here they're just little hidden treasures. I'm not going to count these, so this would be 900 silver, and this is 4,300 silver. Whoop-de-doo, who cares, right? So I'm going to go ahead and throw those away. This was the daily for the challenge, and then this is an unfilled tome, so we didn't quite fill this one up all the way, so I'm going to stash that. And then this is what we ended up with. So in 30 minutes time so far, and let me show you, I'm going to get some text back on the screen here just a sec. Right now, in 30 minutes, if sell journal, we made 480k. So not quite 1 million per hour, not yet, right? So 480k if we multiply this by 2. So per hour if selling journals. Alright, that's 960k, so not quite an hour. But lucky for us, we do have laborers, and so let's take a look. We have 55 of these Novice Gamekeeper journals filled. 55 of them. Now, if I go to a laborer here, and we talk to him, and let me get the timer off the screen because we don't need that anymore. Alright, so if we put a journal in, you'll see here that I get 57 rugged hide. Alright, so 57 times 55 journals that we filled is 3,135 rugged hide. And this takes, again, 22 hours to process. But let's go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so I did a little bit more math for you guys. I did the in 30 minutes amount with no journals at all, which I don't know why you would be doing this without using journals. You're going to be losing out, as you can see. And then in 1 hour without journals, that's only 774k, so not quite 1 million per hour. Whereas, you know, I also did a little bit more math with the journals. So if you sell the journals, because you have to buy the journals, fill them, and then when you sell them, you don't obviously get them back. Why would you get them back, right? So, you know, that's only 905k per hour, which is pretty good. Still not $1 million an hour, though. But if you turn in the journals to a laborer, then you make 572,000 in 30 minutes. As you can see here, I have turned those journals in and gotten the tier 2 rugged hide. Let me hide the text here real quick. You can see I got the 3,135 rugged hide from turning in those 55 journals. It does take 22 hours, and that turns us into 1.144 million silver per hour. And again, this was with only these 0.1 medium hides is only worth 33k. So this is just medium hide, thin hide, and not bandit event, and rugged hide. So no babies, no tome drops, no lucky drops at all, nothing. This is like the worst run ever, and we're still over 1 million per hour. So I'm going to explain now how you can also do this. And the whole reason I'm making this video is because of this Reddit post right here by AHMadD, whatever, you can just read the name on the screen, I'm not going to try to say it. He says he found a guide on YouTube, it's obviously my guide, because no one else makes guides for this, that you can earn 700 $1 million per hour via gathering. He spends a lot of time into hide gathering, which it does take a long time to build up to tier 8. And he bought the tier 8 hide gathering set with an Avalonian knife tier 8, which is about 2 million, which is a big... Is it only 2 million? I thought it'd be more than that. So yeah, it's pretty big investment, but, you know, he's fairly new, and he says he can barely reach 500k per hour skinning in those zones. He doesn't know what he's doing wrong, and he can't afford to go to black zone, because he's only got, like, the 2 million set in the knife, I guess. He's bankrupt. He spent all of his... He put all of it into the skinning set, which is a good investment, because you never lose this. Do not ever take this, ever, 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 to a red or black zone, ever. So the very first step, which this player did do, this Redditor, he bought the gathering set. So he bought the skinner cap, the garb, and you want to buy an 8.4 if you can afford it. And the reason why is so your hide animal poison does more damage. And this lets you just kill enemies faster. And the faster you kill enemies, the more money you make, but it can get expensive. Anyway, Skinner's Work Boots and Avalonian Skinning Knife. That's the skinning set. These are the 4 items that will give you gathering yield. In total, wearing this set gives you a 90% bonus to your yield. So this means that for every 1 enemy you skin, you're almost getting 1 for free. You're getting 90% of another one free. So if an enemy, for instance, had 10 hides, and you skin it with this set, you would technically average 19 hides. You don't always, but that's kind of how the math works. It's a little weird and wonky, but that's kind of how you should think about it. So if you skinned 100 animals with this set on, it's as if you skinned 190 without the set on. The next step is the pork pie. You want to always have one of these eaten and running on your buff bar. This gives you 15% yield, and it increases your carry weight by a bunch. So definitely something you should always have active when you're gathering. Next up, you want things that let you carry more stuff and move fast. So you want the best bag that you got. Now I have this 8.3 Masterpiece Elders bag. I also have an 8.4 excellent satchel, but the satchel doesn't have as much carry weight as the bag. So I'm using the bag. I don't have an 8.4 Masterpiece bag. I could buy one, but I don't need it. Then at least a tier 5 Skinner backpack. I'm wearing tier 8. The only difference is, like, okay, so when you wear a tier 5 Skinner backpack, it basically reduces the weight of all hide tier 5 and lower by 30%. So because this is your safe zone set, tier 6, 7, and 8, you know, backpacks don't do anything. I just have this because I'm rich, and why not? Just so my set matches. I don't know. It just increases my repair bill. Honestly, I don't even need this. So don't do what I'm doing here. But, and then a boar mount. Now, the best boar mount is the Elite Wild Boar, because it gives you the most carry weight. And the cool thing about boar carry weight is that it works when the mount is not summoned. So if you've ever rode an ox before and you walk out of the circle, you'll suddenly become overweight. But with the boars, you don't. You retain the buff to your maximum carry weight load. Also, the wild boars, they're pretty fast. This one's 120% gallop speed, and it can just carry a lot of stuff. It's armored, it's got a lot of health, so it's just an all-around awesome mount to have. So again, you can really use any mount. Just something with carry weight that moves fast. That's all you need. Step 4 is journals. You need journals when you're doing this. For instance, we have the Novice Gamekeeper's Journal. So the way journals work, I've made videos on this topic. Whenever you have them in your inventory, the fame you get when you're skinning goes into the journal. It also goes to you, but the journal just also learns along with you. And once you fill up the requirements of the book is considered full. And then when you have a full book, you give it to the laborer. And then, 22 hours later, they come back with free resources and an empty journal back to you. So real quick, these are the prices of journals. If you don't have an island and you don't have laborers, you should really work on getting those ASAP. You should have had that up and running before you got to tier 8 gathering, honestly. But if you don't, you can still go to the market and buy these, but you should never buy these above laborer price. So for instance, a tier 2 novice gamekeeper's journal is 500 silver, and the estimated market value says 507. So people are, raising the price. So don't pay more than 500, okay? And tier 3 is 1,000, and tier 4 is 2,000. So if you're in a tier 4 zone, for me on the Western server, the best money for your value is the tier 2 journal. If you're in a tier 5 zone, which you shouldn't be doing anyway because you're going to make less silver per hour, but some people do it anyway because they want like the tiger or the swift claw cubs, they just like to have that little dopamine hit. Then you would use the tier 3 gamekeeper journals. So the process of skinning in particular is a little different than other gathering because you want to be killing enemies as quick as possible. And to do that, you're going to use your armor ability, Hide Animal Poison. And you're going to have this up all of the time. So when you're on the ground, boots on the ground, you're not on your mount, make sure you cast this buff. And you'll see this red circle here in the top left under my health bar. And as long as that red circle is there, that means I have Hide Animal Poison active. So if I want to kill a creature, I dismount and I auto-attack it, and it will die from the poison. Assuming that you have a Crypt Candle equipped, because this thing raises the damage of your Hide Animal Poison. Alright, so the best Crypt Candle you can get, the better. You don't need an 8.4, and you don't need Masterpiece. Okay? I'm just balling out here, okay? And the higher tier, your Skinner's Garb is the better. You can see mine is an 8.4, but if it wasn't 8.4, okay, let's look. 1742 magic damage, okay? But if I just used flat 8, how much would I get? Let's find out together. So with just flat 8, it would be 1,163 damage. So I'm getting 600 additional damage for wearing this 8.4. And if I took the Crypt Candle off, that reduces it down to, well, I don't think that tooltip is correct. Let's see. 1742. Okay, it's not updating the tooltip, obviously. That's not how that works. But yeah, the Crypt Candle does add a ton of damage. So that means you want to wield a one-handed weapon. And there's many different choices. For today's video, I used a Fire Staff, but I could use any version of Curse Staff. Anything with an area of effect spell is really good. I don't recommend two-handed weapons because they take both slots, meaning you can't use the Crypt Candle, and you'll be dealing less damage overall. Alright, so a lot of people are like, should I have combat gear if in case I want to do faction PvP? So here's what happens when you do that. So let's just take a helmet out. So you see how I have this buff that says 10 at the top under my health bar? When I equip something that isn't a gathering item like this helmet, I just lost 10 stacks. So I just lost 17.5% gathering yield, but when I put the helmet back on, it's got to build those stacks back up. So now I have 1.75% gathering yield from the helmet, and after a little while, it'll stack up to 2, and it'll stop once it's stacked to 10. So if you're getting downed by mobs, if you're getting beat up by players, or if you're swapping your gear for some reason, you lose these stacks, and you don't want to do that. Also, people are like, well, should I faction flag up? I can't defend myself. I'm not confident. I'll get beat up. I'll have a repair bill. And the answer is you should always faction flag up. When you are faction flagged, you are earning faction points, and quite a lot from gathering, mind you. But also, you are getting a 15% bonus yield. So remember earlier when I said we had like a 90% yield, and that was before the pork pie? Let's look at our actual real yield. So here is all the yield bonuses. We did the helm, armor, boots, and the knife, this time with pork pie and faction flagging. So that means 120% is how much I had in the video. I did not have premium active when I filmed this, and I do not have premium active now. As you can see, there's nothing here. I'll hide the text. You can see it is not active. You have no premium. I know, it feels bad, right? But if I did have premium, that's another 50%. And then if it's a bonus day, that's a 25%. And then with, I have level 83 in tier 4 adept, which is 41.5%. If I was level 100, that would be 50%. But this only applies when you're skinning tier 4 hide animals. It does not apply to tier 2 or tier 3 animals. But the maximum potential bonus shown on the screen is 236.5 or 195 for tier 2 and tier 3, which is almost double. So, again, if you're killing one animal and skinning it, like a tier 2 mob, you're basically getting 2 for free. And that's pretty damn huge. You are gathering 3 times faster than other players. And if you're one-shotting them with hide animal poison and zooming around the map, that with journals, with laborers, that's how you get 1 million per hour. And it's totally doable. And again, if you have premium, you're going to push way more than 1 million per hour, and with premium, that 50% is a bonus to baby drops and tome drops as well. And if you do get baby drops, tome drops, 0.2 or 0.3 enchanted mobs, that's another 400 to 500k per 30 minutes, meaning you can push over 2 million per hour. And then if you hold onto your hide, hold onto your hides, buckos, and you wait and you refine on bonus days, then you have leather instead of hide, and then when you wait for the bonus day to go away after a while for the market to normalize, you then sell the leather, when it's at its peak price. You could be pushing like maybe 3 million, 4 million per hour if you factor all this stuff in really easily. Like, it's insane how much money you can really ramp this up to. But a lot of that stuff's members only stuff, so I don't want to talk about it too much. But yeah, 1 million per hour while skinning, even with the worst of luck, no babies, no tomes, no enchanted mobs above 0.1, and barely any 0.1 enchanted mobs anyway. Like, it is possible to do, and I'm sorry that this Redditor here didn't quite figure that out, but hey, hopefully this video helps him, and somebody DM him on Reddit and let him know that I made a video just for him. I know, right? But yeah, that Reddit thread is a joke. There's people like, oh, Swole Benji got another one, guys. He's such a jerk. He kills people in the noob zones. Excuse me, I don't kill. The last time Fat McCock. The last time I killed someone was apparently in May. I'm filming this in September. That's 4 months ago. I haven't murdered in 4 months, allegedly. But yeah, that's the video. I hope this helps you. If you need further assistance with, laborers and journals, you just go to my channel and search it up. It's really easy to do. It's super quick. You just click my channel name right below this video. There's a little search bar at the top. You just type laborer or journal, and there'll be plenty of videos there to help you out. And with that said, leave a like. Let me know what you thought, and man, I've made this video like 10 times now. I have literally made this same video. Hey, here's how to make 1 million silver with blue zone skinning. Completely safe. Even with the worst of luck, you can still make 1 million per hour. I don't know how many more times I have to do this until people just realize, this is a way to make silver. And you can be like, oh, it's so boring. Bro, I was listening to a new music album, and it went by in a flash. It went by in like, it felt like seconds, all right? I was listening to this orchestral album called Yesterwind, and yeah, it just blew by. And man, I need to go gather some more and listen to more music, because I can spend all day doing this. Anyway, that's what I got. Click the video on the right side of your screen. If you don't, here's what's gonna happen if you don't click the video, okay? You're gonna go through the drive-thru at like McDonald's or something. and there's going to be like maybe 1 or 2 cars in front of you. And you're going to be like, yes, this will be so fast. And then, you know, you're going to get to the drive-thru window, and they're going to be like, hey, can you pull forward and wait? You know, we're making your food fresh. And you're going to be like, yes, that is excellent. And then 20 minutes are going to go by, and then they'll get you your food. Yeah, because they're shorthanded or their fryer messed up or somebody rage quit or something. But you're going to end up 20 minutes in the sitting near the drive-thru waiting for your damn food if you don't click the video, so you better click it. And yes, I'm aware I didn't calculate the profits from faction points. I'm not going to do it. It's already over $1 million per hour anyway, even after repairs. Thank you, goodbye.